What's up, YouTube fans? Today, we're going to take a look at the Hasbro Transformers Collaborative Ultimate X-Spanse. So this is a crossover with X-Men. This is the X-Jet from the 90s cartoon. And it is a really cool looking jet. We'll take a look at this. Just a forewarning, these wings are problematic. They'll probably fall down or fall off during the review, so I'm just giving you a heads up on that. But here's the front. You get that nice red cockpit. You have the blue nose cone here. It is rubbery so that kids don't hurt themselves on that. You've got the yellow intakes here with the black rim. It's painted. And then you got the black paint up here. Nice painted X-Men logo on these floppy wings. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Here's the back. You do have those boosters that look pretty nice. All in all, a really good looking jet, but definitely some issues with these wings. You do have some landing gear. So you can fold out these landing gear, and this one's a little bit tighter. There you go. And then there's two landing gear here. These are wheels that are plastic. They don't roll. It's just plastic pieces. But it can't sit on those landing gear if you can get the wings out of the way. And that looks pretty cool. I like that. It does come with some accessories. So you do get a mini Sabretooth. And he's painted. He's got the orange paint and then the red paint on his hands, chest, and head. And he stands okay, but then you get the Wolverine. He's got the blue, yellow, and red paint, and then the face is kind of messed up. Kind of looks like blackface. It's messed up. It's got a red mouth and red eyes, but they're missing a bunch of yellow paint there. But anyway, there he is. He looks not too bad, but unfortunately he doesn't stand. He's just, maybe it's because he got bent and packaged. I'm not really sure, but it doesn't stand up. You do get this effect part, which is meant to be put on his back, and then that's supposed to have some kind of slashing effect. I don't know. It doesn't really make sense to me. But there you go. There's the minifigures. Oh, there he goes. He finally stood up. And then you get these two effects parts, which are really meant for robot mode. You got this Wolverine claw and then the Psylocke effect weapon. And these can attach in a couple different places. So you can plug them in here using the pegs on the end. So you just plug into the bottom of the shoulders and they'll sit there. You can also take these and plug them. There's a little tiny slot on them right there, and that'll fit into the side of the landing gear. So you can put it like that, which also works a little bit better in the robot mode, but I'm going to show you that. Or you can take these and put them on the wings, but again, these wings are so weak, they might not hold up the weight of these, but you can have these as weapons on the wings. And if you can get them to stay, that's not too bad of a look. So there is the X-Spanse next to a Earthrise figure, just for a size comparison. It's a relatively big jet. I mean, it's the same size as the old Jetfire figure, Leader Class Jetfire, but it does look nice with the existing retail line in terms of scale. All right, let's get this guy transformed into his robot mode. It's a relatively complex transformation for a retail figure, but I am just going to take these off because they're going to bug me anyway and they're going to fall off, so we'll just take them off now. Go ahead and take these, and you can rotate these to the back because they are going to end up folding that way. You're going to take this one and fold that in. All right. Go ahead and unpeg the wing from the side there. Open up these panels here, and that's going to free up this entire piece. You can fold down his knee, fold this part forward, and then fold this part down, and that's going to start to form his leg here. This part's a little bit more challenging, so you're going to want to, actually you can push this downwards for now. Go ahead and take his kneecap and fold this down, and it's an accordion down onto the front there. And then unpeg these panels. They can be really tight, so just be careful. I wonder about the longevity of these pieces, but same on this side. It's very tight. You have to kind of pull it away. Unfortunately, it doesn't feel great, but you got to pull it out of this tab right there. Rotate it around, and then you're going to collapse it back down. Same on this side. Rotate it around, collapse it back down, and then you're going to press these two together. You can see there's tabs here that are going to fit inside of the back of the leg. Take this panel here, and this is going to accordion onto his back like this, not his back, onto the back of the leg, and give that a nice push. And then take these panels, and that's going to lock his leg on. And then you can straighten up his foot. And there you have one leg all done. Since it is relatively complex, I'm going to do it one more time so you can see it. Let's go ahead and unpeg this. Go ahead and open up this panel. And that's going to free up this leg piece here. Next, you're going to take this, rotate this, straighten this up, and then rotate the leg forward and then down. And you can straighten up this knee. Now we take this kneecap and fold this up and accordion it back down so it sits on top of here. Go ahead and unpeg these leg panels. And again, they're very tight. Rotate them around and accordion them back down. Same on this side. Unpeg this. Again, very, very tight. And then rotate this around and peg it back in. Take the foot. Make sure you have these panels open. Accordion that down. And then peg the panels back in. And then straighten up the legs if you haven't already. And there you go. There is the legs pretty much all done. So now we'll work on the upper body. So go ahead and take this panel here. This is all going to unpeg from here. You can see there's two pegs right there. Next you can take this entire back piece and fold that out from here. And that's going to accordion upwards on this panel right here. At the same time, you can take this, take the arms, fold them down, and get these shoulder pieces in here. Take this chest, accordion that down, and make sure you keep the head up while you do that. Fold this piece in. That's going to form the X-Men logo on his chest, which is kind of cool. Get that pegged in. And we'll take care of the arms first. So go ahead and rotate this down. Rotate this panel around, and then you can peg the arm in. You can rotate the hand to the front. Same on this side. Rotate this shoulder down. Rotate this panel so it sits flat on the back of his arm. And rotate that around. And there you have the arms pretty much all ready. Next we'll take care of the backpack here. So coming to the back, go ahead and take this panel and fold these forward. This entire panel is going to fold up and accordion back down onto his back. And you have to get these oriented correctly, so make sure you have these folded up. And then you can take this, and this is going to peg in on his back. All right, next you're going to take this panel, and this is going to, again, peg down into his back. You can see there's a tab here. It's going to fit into the back. So go ahead and peg that in. And then these wings are just going to fold out to the side. You can kind of have them however you want. And sorry about the cutaway there. I ran out of battery, so just a couple final things to do. You can just fold these, put these panels back on if you remove them or they fell off, and then just fold them inwards. They kind of just sit to the back there. They are going to get in the way. They are probably going to fall off. And then these should be with the black facing upwards. If you don't have that, you probably have to take this back apart. But that's how you want them configured. And then these wings, you can kind of put whatever you want, but that's how they have them configured. But there you have X-Spanse in his robot mode. It is cool in some places and not so cool in others. Let's get in so you can see the head sculpt. It's a pretty nice head sculpt. I like what they did here. I think it looks nice. But the movement's a little bit weird. So it is on a rotating swivel. So it goes up to there. It goes really far up and then pretty far down as well. And you can open up the visor to reveal a really weird looking face underneath. So you're better off just leaving the visor down. I don't know. It's a strange looking face. But I do like the look, that Cyclops look that they gave him. You have the chest here that has that classic X-Men look. Also the belt, the utility belt. You do have these two pegs here that you can, again, utilize to put the weapons for weapon storage. So that's kind of cool. He's got holster or whatever you want to call it. Like that. You can also take these weapons and you can stick them in the hands. So these are energy weapons, so they just come flying out of his hands when he's ready to battle. Continuing down on the articulation, you do have a side-to-side movement here, but it's kind of hindered. If you move the chest out of the way, then you can get an ab crunch. But with the chest positioned normally, you don't get much ab crunch. So I don't really understand that decision. It's just strange. They put the rotation joint in there, but you can't really use it if it's transformed properly. You have these shoulders that articulate up and down here. Sometimes it pulls this shoulder joint out, so you just got to kind of hold all this stuff in place, and then you can rotate it here. Rotation at the bicep. Single jointed elbow gets you 90 degrees. Rotation at the hand. The fingers don't move, but you do have the weapon there at the end. You have a rotation at the waist, a little bit hindered by the backpack, and again, I mentioned you are going to have this kind of stuff falling off. You have a really tight ratchet for the legs, so you end up wanting to hold all this stuff, and then a tight ratchet out to the side. And then you have a knee. It is actually double jointed, but using the outer joint, you just get a tiny bit more, so it's not all that much. It does tend to knock out these panels and things start coming apart, so you just have to be aware of that. You have an ankle tilt in both directions and an ankle rocker, or toe tilt this way, I guess. It's not an ankle rocker, but... So there you go. Pretty good articulation on a big guy like this, although some of it tends to get him untransformed just a little bit. And for a quick size comparison, there he is next to the Netflix Optimus Prime. So a much bigger character in terms of the leader class scale. He's a much bigger leader. So final thoughts on the Ultimate X-Spanse. Let me start with the positive. So I think he kind of has a cool look. He does, obviously reminiscent of an X-Men. He's sort of a Cyclops mixed with Wolverine, mixed with Psylocke. I don't know. It's just different characters. And it is very reminiscent. So if you like the cartoon, you're going to like, this character. He also has a little bit of paint on him. Not a whole lot, but at least in robot mode, the yellow definitely shows through. I do like the X-Men logos here. On the negatives, there are a lot. So the articulation of this guy is very strange. A lot of tight joints, especially in the hips and the shoulders, that make things start coming apart. These panels are constantly falling off, both in vehicle mode and in robot mode. They're very irritating, and they get in the way and they fall off. There's a lot of joints that are toleranced very strangely. So as you're moving the arm, for example, you would expect that this would be looser, but it's actually tighter than this. So you end up moving that shoulder, which is not what you want. You want this to stay, and you want this to move. Same for these legs. As you start articulating, these things start coming apart, and that's very problematic. I actually sat on this review for about a week because I really wasn't enjoying it. I didn't want to be overly negative, but now, about a week later, I'm still finding myself really not enjoying this figure. So I can't recommend it. Unfortunately, at the price point of $60, this is a very expensive retail figure in terms of what you're getting. I just don't think it's worth the value of the price. But if you're a big X-Men fan and you love the X-Jet, then of course you should get this, because it's going to be, a nostalgic piece for you. It's going to, make you happy to see this. But of course, you can pick this up at Target. It was a Target exclusive, so you can find this at Target stores, either online or in the store itself. So that's really it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.